Welcome to another edition of Politics and I'm Egberto Willies, your host. Today, I'm honored to have the youngest congressman in the Congress right now,
Yep.
El Señor Maxwell
Hey,
Frost.
good to
How
see
you
you,
doing,
brother.
my
Doing
friend?
well. Good to be here,
Well,
man. Good to
look,
be
let
here
me
at
tell you.
Netroots.
First of all, let me give you your kudos. When you got elected, I've been talking about Gen Zers going into the
Yep.
Congress and taking over because there's so much that the older folks have not done right.
Yeah.
And here comes you, and we got a few bit older, Summerlee and others coming in.
Yep.
First of all, thank you for running and
Of course.
doing a great job. Let's start out by asking you, how do we get more younger folk
Mm.
involved into our body politic?
Yeah. Two main things. Number one, it's important. People have to realize this system wasn't created for young people to run for Congress and get elected,
Right.
let alone working class young people. And so there's a community aspect of this, which is making sure that we're recruiting candidates early, that we're working with them to teach them how to campaign, but that we support them in something that is very difficult. I mean, look, if I didn't have the support system I had during my campaign, I would have dropped out
Let me
midway.
ask you, what is that support system that you're
My
talking about?
family, my friends,
Hmm.
people who would buy me a meal every now and then,
Hmm.
friends who let me sleep on their couch when I experienced homelessness when I got priced out of my apartment.
Hmm.
And why was all this happening? I had to quit my job to run for Congress.
Right.
And I was living off of my savings, which wasn't great.
Hmm.
The thing is, most people who run for office already are independently wealthy,
Right.
so they can afford to not have a job for a year or two. But for the average person, it's difficult. So that local system of support is so important for getting young people to run and them winning. But the second thing is institutionally, we have to get big money out of politics. We have to change our election system. We have to end Citizens United. We have to end super PACs. We have to make sure that I believe in publicly funded elections where you don't have to spend 8 hours a day trying to beg people for money to be able
Right.
to spread your message. All these things I think will make it so we can have a Congress that looks a little bit more like the country.
Now you've done a good job exposing alligator,
Alcatraz, yeah,
Alcatraz, and
yeah.
all of that. Now, with regards to immigration, that is something that should be an issue here. You are in Florida. You have a whole lot of orange groves and all of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
One of the things, the messages that I don't think is going out is that it's more than just sending these people back. These people are an integral part of
Of
our
our society,
economy,
yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
it's not that. And as they are gone, our economy falls. How do you, as a congressperson, intend to express that to your
That's
population? In
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean that's what I do, right? I mean, first is like the humanity of the thing. These are our neighbors. These are people who should not be kidnapped and human trafficked to places across the country or across the world. But the other thing is they are part of our society.
Right,
The vast majority of undocumented people have been here for over a decade.
right,
And people have to understand. Remember during COVID, our frontline workers and especially people who were taking care of our elders,
right.
if you were to deport every Haitian
Hmm.
on TPS in the United States right now, we will lose 1/5 of our elder care workers.
Impossible to deal with.
1/5 of the folks who are taking care of our most vulnerable population are elders. It has huge impacts beyond just Haitians, everyone. Huge impacts on agriculture, on us getting our food. Huge impacts on, of course, the healthcare system, nursing, caregiving, etc., and huge impacts on construction, on housing. And this is part of the reason we've seen housing costs go up. It costs more to build a house. A lot of these companies, a lot of their workers are too scared to go to work or they've
Right.
been deported or this and that. So, of course, first and foremost is the fact that we believe in the dignity of immigrants because this is a nation of immigrants and we believe no one should be kidnapped and sent somewhere else. But it is a big part of our economy.
Now, talking about I believe that AI is, look, I'm an engineer by training,
Yeah.
and I do believe in, how should I say this correctly?
Innovation. Yeah,
Innovation,
of course.
exactly. Now, but what I think we have to have is legislation that actually
Yeah.
regulates AI in a manner. AI is actually our knowledge base, the entire knowledge base. Anything that you've ever said is a part
Yep.
of your database.
Yep.
It came
We're
out of
all part
you.
of AI.
We're
It's
all
using
part
all
of
of it.
AI.
Yeah.
My question is, when are we going to get, maybe you or some congressperson, make this statement that AI should be in the commons?
Should be in the what?
In the commons. In other words,
Uh-huh.
it should be a public
Oh,
domain
a
thing.
public domain. I mean, this is part of the reason. I don't know if you saw Greg Casar and Bernie Sanders have put forth proposals to
Hmm.
heavily tax AI,
Right.
so we can ensure we have more programs because it's using all of our information, all of our
Exactly. And
music,
that's
every
my
speech
point.
we've given, etc. And I
Yes.
agree with that. The other thing, though, that I think is really important is we need common sense guardrails
Right.
to protect working people, to protect all of us. Are there some things that we can possibly use AI for in the future that would be beneficial? Of course, but here's the issue: is that number one, it is being run by a small group of billionaires who they are the ones right now deciding how it impacts work, how it impacts working people, how it impacts our environment. And that's the problem. And actually, I was just on a panel talking about this, that part of the issue we have in this country is we are giving away functions of the government to billionaires so they can make money off of it. People have to remember the government used to be the leader on innovation. That's why we have the internet, by the way. But we've slowly, as we've taken away funding from research, from NASA, from all this stuff, have given that to private corporations of a small group of white dudes in hoodies who are the ones essentially deciding what happens, and it's a huge issue. So we do need to have common sense regulation on AI. But I 100% agree with you. Our information essentially has been stolen from us by these CEOs.
I have yet to have a congressman sit
Mhm.
in the chair next to me
Mhm.
and made that very important statement.
It's what happened with us. Yeah.
Everything that we have created from drugs. I worked
Yeah.
at NASA in my early days,
Mm.
and we are the ones who created what Elon Musk is using right now.
100%.
And he has done nothing more
Yep.
than we have done with the Apollo program, the
Exactly.
Saturn V program, and any of these programs.
Exactly.
He just doing it with more powerful computers.
Exactly.
And we did it with very
And no government oversight.
and no government. Thank you.
This is the thing I
Exactly.
talk about when we talk about space exploration.
Right.
NASA, if something explodes, it's obviously a huge deal. They're probably going to lose money under huge scrutiny. Elon Musk can explode a rocket every day. It don't matter because it's a private corporation. So they're
Exactly.
able to fail more, which means they're able to do more because that's what innovation
Right.
requires. And that's part of the problem. A lot of people don't know NASA right now. A lot of the big missions we see going on, it's all intertwined with SpaceX.
Right.
NASA, it's like they can't do anything without the corporation being a part of it. I'm not saying I'm against all public-private partnerships, but what we have to understand is we are acquiescing core parts of what the government has done for decades and decades and decades to billionaires.
I know you said you're not against public part. I mean, there are certain areas that, in my opinion,
Yeah.
don't belong in a public-private
Yeah.
partnership.
Yeah.
Period. I think
I agree.
healthcare doesn't belong there.
I agree.
Even NASA,
Yep.
I don't think belong there. But you know what? I really think that it's so important that we have
Yeah.
somebody like yourself who understands these particular
Yep.
concepts. I have a few more questions, but I think you may be pressed for time right now. So
Yeah, we'll do one more. Let's do
oh,
one
okay,
more. Yeah.
okay. Anyway, I want to know what right now election is an issue,
Mhm.
and many are concerned about election security.
Yeah.
What do you think we should do in order to protect against that?
The first thing is there is no massive voter fraud or whatever the Republicans are saying, right? And I think we got to tell people the truth about what's going
Right.
on. The other thing is, I am down to move forward a large comprehensive voting package that we should brand as protecting the integrity of our elections.
Right.
Because what happens is, I think everyone knows that there's something wrong here.
Mhm.
A lot of those on the far right believe that it's a ton of dead people, voting,
Yeah,
which is not really
true. Yeah.
happening. But on our side, we know that, yeah, actually our elections are messed up. How? Well, not that there's a problem with the voting itself, but there's voter suppression.
Right.
There's unlimited money put in our elections by corporations and billionaires, and all these things that do rig our economy or rig our democracy. I'm not saying it's rigged like there's someone in there changing the votes. It's rigged in the way they earn votes, right? With money in politics. And I think if Democrats move forward a broad agenda to change and fix our democracy, I think we can actually even get a lot of those people on the right and the left
Yes.
who just know something's wrong here. And it's true, there is something wrong. It might not be what you think it is, but there's something wrong, and we have to have a big package on that.
Well, one of these days, I hope they have a panel on exactly what our current economic system is doing. And
Yeah,
I won't
yeah.
use any words that can be used as sound bites because
Yeah.
I don't want to, as far as you're
Yeah.
concerned. But there is something severely wrong with our economic system that we need to take care of. And I'm glad to know
We have a
that
rigged economy.
Here we go. I'm
Yeah.
glad to see we have Congress people like yourself
Thank you.
that are actually doing that. Congressman
Thank you,
Frost,
brother. I appreciate
it's
it.
been a pleasure.
Que
to
decir mi
have
hermano
you.
aquí,
Mi
mira.
mi hermano de Latinoamérica.
Yeah, seguro
Okay.
que sí.
Muchas
All right.
gracias y
Thank
tenga
you.
buen día, hermano.
Igualmente,
Gracias.
igualmente. Awesome. All right. Thank you, man.
That was great, man. Thank you very much, and
Thanks for having me.
keep up doing the good work.
Thank
You are really what we need out there right now,
you,
brother. Okay.
Are you based here?
I am in Houston, Texas.
Houston. Okay.
Yeah,
If I'm ever
so
in Houston, we'll hit you up.
hit me up. I'm there. All right.
Sounds
Take care.
good. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.